and for him touch those who are in need, using human instruments in the accomplishing of his purposes. Sometimes I question, why didn't God use angels instead of fallible human beings? He has his reasons. I don't know them, but he has chosen to use men and women as his instruments to accomplish his purposes here in this world, to show the world his love by and through our lives. They become the manifestation of God's love to a needy world. And we realize that the world has yet to see what God could do through just one life that was totally dedicated to him. We, each of us in a measure or another, have sought to commit our lives to God, but none have ever totally committed. And the world has yet to see what God would do through one person totally committed to do his will. The path that I have trod has brought me near to God, though oft it led through sorrow's gates. It's not the way I'd choose, for in my way I might lose the joy that yet for me awaits. Not what I wish to be, nor where I wish to go. For who am I that I should choose my way? The Lord shall choose for me. 'Tis better far, I know, so let him bid me go or stay. How do we present our bodies to God? Paul said, holy and acceptable unto him. God spoke of the sacrifices, and we're to offer ourselves as living sacrifices. The Bible speaks of the sacrifices that were brought to God in the Old Testament and God's requirement for those sacrifices. In Leviticus 22:20, the Lord said, whatever has a blemish, you shall not offer, for it will not be accepted. It shall be perfect to be accepted. There shall be no blemish in it. That which is blind or broken or maimed or having an abnormal growth or scurvy or scabbed, you shall not offer these unto the Lord, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar unto the Lord. You shall not offer to the Lord anything that is bruised or crushed or broken or cut. If I'm to offer my body as a living sacrifice, immediately when we look at these requirements for the sacrifice in the Old Testament, we realize that we're not any of us qualified. For we, all of us, have mars, bruises, things that would disqualify us from being sacrificed to the Lord. Holy and acceptable. Well, none of us are really acceptable because none of us are truly holy. And yet, Paul speaks of the church and how that Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might present it unto himself a glorious church, having not spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that it should be holy and without blemish. Paul wrote to the Ephesians in chapter 1, verse 4, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. Jude closes his little letter by saying, now unto him who is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. So when we are told to present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy and acceptable, we all of a sudden realize that it isn't that I am holy, but this is my position in Christ. Through the work of Jesus in my life, I am without spot, I am without blemish before God. And he is purposed to present me without fault, faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. If ever you take a picture of my wife, Kay, she'll always say to you, now airbrush it before you use it. Remove the wrinkles and the blemishes. You know, and that's exactly what the Lord has done. Taking a picture of you, he airbrushes. He brushes away all of the defects, all of the blemishes, and he sees you perfect. Perfect in him through that work of his Spirit within your life. This is a very rational appeal. Present your bodies as living sacrifices unto God, holy and acceptable unto him, which is your reasonable service. That is, it makes sense to present my life to God, that God might use me as he sees fit in the accomplishing of that which he has purposed for me to be and to do. You have only one life, and it will soon be past. And only what you do for Jesus Christ is going to last. Paul tells us about one day when we stand before Jesus to give an account unto him concerning what we have done with these bodies, that the works that we have done will be tested by fire, what sort they are. And he says that a lot of the things that we have done are going to just go up in the flames. They'll be reduced to ashes. But those